Okay, so I just want to start by getting a terminal window up for you all. So up the top here, there's this little black icon. And if you hit that, it opens a terminal. See if I can get it to look a little bit larger here. Man, here we go. Yeah, that didn't work for some reason. Let's see. Yeah, it's not letting me control plus plus. Okay, great. So it's a little bit larger for you guys all to see. But I'm just going to change the passwords, the credentials on here for you all. I'm going to keep the username, but we're just going to start by typing up PASSWD. If you hit enter, it's going to change your password. Just put in your current password, so Callie, and then choose a new secure password. Um, I wouldn't recommend repeating a password, but I would recommend choosing a nice secure password that you can type fast or fast enough because you're going to be using this a lot. So um, I'm just going to type in a quick one. Great. Okay, wonderful. So they don't match, but I'll do this later. So you'll see that you change your passwords. Um, it's nice. It's really nice if you do this because there's a lot of really sketchy stuff on here, or you can download some pretty sketchy stuff. So part two of this, after we blaze through the intro, I wanted to introduce you all to a really nice website called Try Hack Me. If you want to get out of this, you can just first of all unfull screen it, and then just do Control Alt for your cursor, and then you can use your cursor to select things on your actual machine. And if I get back to here, we're just gonna introduce Try Hack Me. So Try Hack Me is a wonderful website. If I want, I can go to it. Here we are. It's a wonderful website for, of course, you guys look at my credentials. A wonderful website for learning just the basics of offensive security. It walks you through things all the way from what stuff we cover today, like, how do you download Kali, how do you download, what's a virtual machine, all that stuff, and then walks you through basics of Linux commands and the terminal that I showed you, basic commands for that, how to stay secure with those, and then moves into, like web exploits and then like physical exploits or just like general how to find exploits on computers, like Windows-based machines or Linux-based machines. Um, it's really awesome. I mean, if you want to get a head start on the stuff that we're going to be covering, I would highly recommend navigating here, creating an account, and it is $10 a month for a pro version, which walks you through a lot of really nice stuff. You don't have to get it, but because you have access to all of these tutorials here, it's wonderful. I mean, just as a little extra thing to hold you over for the next couple meetings, you can look at this. I would recommend starting with Learn Linux. Of course, starting with the welcome thing right here to show you how to get used to this environment. But Learn Linux, totally recommend starting here. Even if I go in here, show you, it gives you a bunch of tasks, give you a bunch of goals, and then for each of those goals, you can submit like a question and answer and earn points. It's really nice. Okay, part two
Can
is
I ask you a question?
sorry.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah, please.
about that website you said about paying $10? Is it
Sure.
only for Linux? Is it only to learn the commands or overall, meaning like everything else you
There's
explained?
it's like it's a bunch of hands-on it's a bunch of hands-on learning environments for all things cyber, almost all things cyber, or really almost all things offensive security. So
So,
it
okay,
goes
it's not just the Linux commands,
not
everything
just
else.
Linux, it's way more extensive than that. Here,
If
let
you're
me
saying it's worth spending that money.
I mean, for me, I spent it, and I think
Mhm.
the people on the e-board spent it.
Okay. No,
And
I mean, I'm just trying
yeah,
to understand. It's
yeah,
just worth it, right?
it's so worth it. There's also a King of the Hill, which you compete in teams to like take over each other's environments. It's really awesome. And there's learning paths. So if you're a complete beginner or There's
Does it have anything about Wireshark and
oh yeah, here on
does
the
does
front.
cover that too?
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
okay.
100%.
All right.
It goes through
All
the
right.
whole hacker or the ethical hacker
Tools
methodology.
we would be needing, right? All the tools pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, this is extra practice and
Gotcha.
stuff that we're not going to be covering. A lot of stuff we're not going to be covering is going to be on here. This is just really, really quality way to get more information and more hands-on stuff.
Okay.
That's
All
why
right.
we wanted to show it to you all.
Gotcha.
Um,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. And then for the next meeting, I know we kind of rushed through this one, but next meeting, Evan, who you heard him speaking before, is going to be going over the wire. And if you want to get started on that, you can. Over the Wire is it's another kind of training website which you can um, do a bunch of levels, very basic levels, using some sort of SSH client like Putty or even in Kali. It'll walk you through the whole thing. What if I'm saying is making no sense, it'll walk through this whole thing. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is it teaches you or has you teach yourself Linux commands and getting really
Yeah.
comfortable with Linux.
Yeah.
Evan, if you
So
want to,
what
yep.
what you guys are probably gonna want to do is I wouldn't touch the over the wire stuff right now. I would make an account on TryHackMe. And if Elon, can you just go to TryHackMe real quick and
Yeah,
go
sure,
to
sure.
the learning paths? So I would recommend yeah, go into the complete beginner one real quick.
Yeah, I was just there.
And then scroll down, it tells you, well, yeah, then that. Okay, so for the rooms, if you actually go up one more above Linux Fundamentals Introduction. So if these are available for free, I would do the introducing researching and Google dorking. I would definitely do that. And then in the Linux Fundamentals section, I would do the Learn Linux one. You're going to see some repeats in my meeting next week from that, but I think Bandit does a little better job, and there's way more stuff. So you can do that if you want. You don't really have to for next meeting, but I would recommend doing those two intro things on TryHackMe and then Learn Linux. And I guess if you want to continue, that's really up to you. But that's what I would recommend.
I
And
totally agree.
yeah, and so since everyone has Kali, you won't need an can't speak SSH client if you have Kali. I mean, if you want to go in Windows and do that, you'll probably need Putty then. But yeah.
And if you want help installing Putty, again, I can stay after with you and help you get that installed in Windows. If you so prefer that over using SSH and Kali. So I think before we make it too long, that concludes what we had for today. I'm saving a lot of time now for anyone who doesn't have time after Common Hour, just to get help installing Kali and all that. So thank you all so much for coming. There's a lot of people in here, and I really do appreciate all of your activity in the Discord and all of your activity so far from the last meeting and this meeting. So thank you all again. So I think that concludes today.